I think a trucker, more than any other man, is super masculine. I mean, you find them in other walks of life and other jobs, but you figure that man's on that road and he's wheeling that big old 18-wheeler all around the roads, and he's having to hold that on the road, and they're not small. Maybe it takes one heck of a big man to do it.
Today, in the United States, the long-haul trucker has become a cult hero. The last frontiersman, natural heir to the tough breed of men who drove the covered wagons west.
The turkey cat back here. I'm southbound on this old 522. I'm going down around that Winchester, Virginia. Go ahead.
I'm 10-4 about halfway to Watergate City.
Well, we're going to keep on trucking towards that 7-6.
No, mercy sakes, too bad it's not a clear day. We can take a little advantage of the lack of smokies.
I wanted to talk to the Smoky. Go ahead.
10-4, you got the big gorilla. Come on, I got a copy on you.
Yeah, are you a southbound Smoky the Bear? Go ahead.
Well, I got to get out here and work a few of these little speeders first. I'll get a cup with you a little later on.
At 10-4, you have a mighty fine day. Bye-bye.
Okay, good buddy, you got the big gorilla, Slidell Smoky. He's going to back him on down.
We want to help you check it on through the night.
KWQ 1082 clear.
Charlie Douglas Road Gang from WWL.
Charlie Douglas Country Music.
From Clear Channel, Radio 87, WWL, country music for the United States from way down yonder, New Orleans. Here we go.
This story is about a single journey from the timber forests of the Pacific Northwest to the cactus country of Arizona.
My name's Carl Weber. I'm what's known as an independent owner-operator. I own my own truck and drive it. Bill Laidlow is one of my younger drivers. I've spent quite a number of hours running double with him, teaching him the different tricks of the trade and what you can do and get away with and what you shouldn't do. And Bill is an Indian. I kid him quite a bit about being Apache and Custer's last stand. Of course, he picks on me at different times about being an old man.
He's twice my age, and he can virtually work me into the ground. He's physically strong, very, very strong, which doesn't really make me jealous. It makes me want to try harder, you know?
In life, there's many hills to climb, and sometimes you'll get in a bind, but the day will come that'll bring you luck. Don't live too fast, just set your pace, and when it's over, you'll win the race, so hang on, friend. Keep on trucking.
It's a satisfaction being captain of your own ship, comparing it to the 8-to-5 worker. The whistle blows, he stops for coffee. We don't have no whistle, we stop when we feel like it.
Life is lots of little games, no one will ever take the blame for the bad, only the good. So be yourself, no need to fake it. Life's no more than what you make it, so hang on, friend. Keep on trucking, keep on trucking, till you reach the top. Yeah, keep them wheels rolling, don't ever let them stop.
Carl Weber and Bill Laidlow have come up from Phoenix to collect timber from a mill near Portland, Oregon. Here, Bill will pick up Carl's recently repaired second truck. Today, an independent owner-operator like Carl Weber finds himself battling just to stay in business. It's not only the big trucking companies, but also his own union, the Teamsters, and even the government authorities themselves, who see him as some sort of untidy anomaly, a cowboy of the road left over from a past era.
The interpretation of being an independent trucker is to own your own truck and drive it. But almost immediately you run into the vast bureaucracy, state and federal government, that you can do this, you can't do that. It's just a matter of learning which ones you can get by with and hope you don't get caught.
I see what he's fighting for, and I know what he's up against. I tend to put myself in his boots, because sooner or later he's going to be too old to fight, and somebody's going to have to take his place, and I'd like to be that one. Carl had this attitude that was a challenge to me. that nobody had it in him to stay with him. Not that he has an egotistical sort of attitude. It's just that he's a hell of a man. I've never known him to lie, and I put a lot of faith in a man who doesn't lie to me. He's very much a leader. It just takes knowing him to realize it. On the outside, he's as hard can be. On the inside, he's the softest putty.
To be an independent trucker, you must worry about damn near everything involved about a truck: maintenance, insurances, taxes being paid.
$127.70.
It's getting a little expensive.
Sure just never stops.
We don't expect any more. Don't know what to expect. The way things jumping up. Snow chains that I paid $96 for 2 months ago are now costing me $127. This is roughly a 30% increase in 2 months. How in the hell can we continue to stand this for things we must have to run over the highway?
At Eugene, Oregon, a few miles south of Portland, they meet up with Doug Snedeker and his wife, Donna. Doug has only recently gone independent. He's still building up his business. In the meantime, he takes subcontract work from Carl.
We'll get the show on the road, then. We're going to get over the hill before it gets worse.
The journey back to Arizona begins. From Eugene, they'll go southeast through the Willamette Pass into the snow-covered Cascade Mountains and on down to Klamath Falls. There they'll leave the fir tree belt and enter the wide-open cowboy country of Nevada. Passing through Tonopah and Goldfield and the once thriving, now deserted mining towns, they'll reach Las Vegas. Then over Boulder Dam into Arizona. From there, it's a short day to Phoenix and home.
We'll hope to arrive in Klamath Falls tonight, but not sure of what we got ahead of us. The report says the road was closed yesterday due to slides and heavy snow. Sometimes it's not as bad, but you never know until you get to the destination. Doug's one that you can give a load to and you can forget about it because he'll go get it and deliver it and handle his own problems en route.
I've taken a few trips with Doug in the truck. I just love it. And I know he enjoys it because he gets very lonesome. I think a truck driver's life is very lonesome. And if we didn't have the 5 kids, I imagine I'd be with him all the time and we'd probably be living in the truck.
There's probably a comparison to a cowboy. You're out on your own. There's decisions to be made, and only you can make them because there's no boss there to make them for you. You do it yourself. You just do it.
Back in Phoenix, Arizona, Carl's wife, Vida, is on her way to work.
Carl loves trucking. I mean, that's his whole life. He doesn't know anything any differently. That's what I tell him is part of our problems is communications, because when you first wake up in the morning, you like to hear something other than just, did you call such and such about a job or about a load or something like that. And then whenever he's on the road, why he calls in. And very seldom he calls me unless it's for asking me some question, never just to be calling me.
Howdy, boss.
How things going?
Oh, got a snowy trip ahead of us, I'm afraid.
Any problems?
On this PUC deal, have you got the reports in? One of our biggest problems is finding people with the knowledge and ability to take care of our paperwork. The people that do understand it are like lawyers. They start wanting $50 an hour for their services. So I keep pushing it off onto my wife, Vida, to do it. She dislikes it like a poison.
Well, I understand you just have come out to our part of the country from Tennessee.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe that the employer and the employee both in trucking has an excess amount of paperwork to have to do to fill out that isn't necessary. For instance, when we take on a new driver, but we'll have to go through it anyway. Your medical examination certificate, application for employment, all questions answered, driver data sheet and duplicate, request for employment information, employee's withholding allowance certificate, your record of road test, certification of road test, and then all the citations you might have had within the last 12 months, your written examination that you have to take, that physical you have to have, and the authority to stop and eat when you're on this ICC run if you have never driven ICC before. So that all is paperwork that has to be done. Have fun.
If there weren't so many people involved, like my banker lending me money without security, and I know that's against his job, he's done it. And the guys that work on my truck, Reno Diesel Service, they just go out of their way to help me keep in this. And if I quit now, I've hurt all these guys, and I can't do that. At the present time, I couldn't quit. If I died, they'd have to still stick me up behind the damn wheel, make it look like I was driving. There have been many, many, many occasions where I just wanted to take and shove this truck up somebody's.
Gas, food, and lodging, lousy detour signs, coffee stops and concrete, tired all the time. Smoking and choking and clothes that smell like soul, but I'm hooked with my home on the road. Coming or going, always moving against the clock, and thinking about that woman who's hoping that I'll stop. When I see her in the windshield, well, I'd like to drop this load, but I'm hooked with my home on the road. And all at once I feel that certain stirring in my bones. Gotta hear that power that makes that engine moan. Gonna put some clean clothes on, 'cause I'm gonna roll. Yeah, I'm hooked with my home on the road.
The rule book that is set forth for the long-haul trucker, when he gets in the cab, he might as well tear it up and throw it out the window, else he's going to starve to death. If you want to make a living at it, you've got to be the biggest crook in the world, and that's a fact.
One of these days, I'm gonna quit this old road. When I've saved enough money, gonna buy me a place back home and live a little. Just me and my kids and my honey. Mama said little Danny's not doing too good in school. Said he keeps talking about his dad that he hardly knows. Teacher said he just sits at his desk and draws pictures of trucks. I guess I know what that means and what it shows. Well, I'm not home 3 months out of the year. And here lately, it's showing on me, too. It sure looks cold, that wind blowing up through that canyon. But I gotta keep my spirits up, so I guess I'll sing a little more. Roll, truck, roll, take me to my baby. I'm tired of being alone. Roll, truck, roll, I want to see my baby. Roll, truck, roll me on.
Crossing the Willamette Pass this trip was a lot easier than I expected. With the way things look now, we should be in Reno tonight without any problems at all.
I've never been one to work myself into the ground. I always take time off. I'm not money hungry. I don't kill myself. And I like to get payments ahead on the truck, save up some money, and quit 2 months. Just take it easy, enjoy the kids. go snowmobiling in the mountains. My boys are at an age where they need their dad, and I've always done this ever since they was little. Hunting, fishing, boating, water skiing. I always made time for it. I don't like being away more than a week. One reason I like driving for Carl Weber is that I'm going by the house on my way to Oregon. I'm coming by my house on the way from Oregon.
Our kids think trucking is just the thing, you know, but their hopes get built up. They think, boy, Daddy's going to come home with a lot of money this time. Maybe we'll be able to go out to dinner, all of us together, and just do the kind of things that we'd like to do as a family.
Hey, Becky, what do you got in that bag?
Each time he comes home, it's just not possible, and they get down, too. They want maybe even more than Doug and I do.
You guys ride this like some truckers take care of their trucks. They just run it and never do any maintenance on it.
He's home maybe 1-2 days a week. When he is home, he's not really there. He's either out working on the truck, fixing something, or he's in the house sleeping. I have to kind of make myself behave instead of being ornery like what I feel like being inside. And I'm not always pleasant.
Debbie,
I want you to hurry up and feed the dogs and come in and clean your bedroom, okay?
Right now I'm busy.
Honey, I've waited all morning for you to come in now. I want you to come in and get it done. And sometimes I really hate that truck. But yet when it comes down to holding on to it, I'm in there fighting all the way to keep it.
Carl and I met on a blind date. 2 months later, we were married. And that has been a little over 30 years ago now. This friend that had made the blind date for us, he said, "You better watch that old boy." He said, "He told me you're just the type of girl he was looking for." And says, "He'll wreck you." Well, through the years and all, I've been for it, and it has its ups and downs, but I would never ask him to give it up because that's his whole life, is trucking. I work at Motorola Semiconductor plant here in Phoenix. Carl keeps trying to get me to quit, but I couldn't take it if I didn't have the work to go to, I don't think. It keeps me from climbing the walls sometimes. Well, I just don't like bookkeeping. You know I don't. Been pushed into it for 30 years now. I'm ready to get out of it.
Thought we were going to be partners in this game.
Let's turn something to what I like.
Like working Motorola?
Yeah?
I wouldn't work an 8-to-5 job for nobody.
Well, that's the difference. See, you like what you're doing. I wouldn't go up there and fight all that snow and stuff either for no one.
It's like
Whether Carl wants to admit it or not, I figure on my wages to take care of the house and the household expenses, and everything he makes goes back into the trucks. I would say that Motorola is subsidizing the trucking business.
Well, my mom's Irish, and my dad's got him some Indian in him, which basically formed my personalities because I started right out of the baby crib fighting. I wasn't getting along with my father too well. So I come strolling home from school one day, and there was an Army recruiter at the house. So the next thing you know, I'm buzzing off to the Army. I didn't really like it until I got on the boxing team. And I toured all over Europe, to Hong Kong, Japan, and Vietnam. Basically, I hated the Army because too many chiefs and not enough Indians, you know? Well, in my spare time, I generally devote to girl chasing. That's the big difference between Carl and myself. Him, it's trucks, trucks, trucks. To me, it's girls, trucks, girls, trucks, girls, trucks. See? I love to dance, especially oldies, you know, from the 50s and early 60s. There is one place in Phoenix that I go to every time I'm in town because they have a fantastic band. It's the profile room, and it's not too far from where I live. In fact, if I do get wasted in there, I can walk home, which is convenient.
That evening, as they approach Reno, Nevada, Carl pulls over to a small truck cafe. The others go on into town.
Carl and I's habits on the road are considerably different. He tends to drift very much toward the mom-and-pop type cafes.
The restaurant I like is at Doyle, California. They usually meet you with some kind of a remark or kid you some way when you walk in the door. They know who you are. They treat you as a customer, and you just feel like it's a family affair.
That's not it. That's what you always have.
Boomtown is a place that I actually dig the hell out of it. Well, it has a sauna, and it has showers, and it has a weight room, and there's pretty girls, and there's no hassle. Myself, I'm a big eater, and so I go for the buffet sort of thing where you can get all you want to eat at a good price, because I eat like a horse. Carol will actually work all day before deciding to eat another meal, to where I'll be teasing him, you know, when the hell we gonna stop and eat? Eat? What you want to eat for? It's still light.
Young Diane is a single girl now. She's been married and divorced, has 2 children. I think she has a desire to find a young driver, maybe get married and take to the road. When you live in one little town like she's living, you get into a rut. Maybe you wasn't a good little girl.
I'm always good.
I've kidded her that I would teach her to drive. She's never taken me on, but I would like to see her get into trucking if that's her true interest. Of course, she has an attraction to the younger driver, but most of them are just after a good time with her and not really interested in teaching her to drive. They get what they want and leave them hang.
See, if I could run like you, never have no problems, and got people loading and unloading my truck, and someone driving it for you all the time. Could I work for you, by the way?
What do you pay me?
I'll keep you awake. I'll keep the sleeper warm. That way when you want to get in it.
No, not you, but actually Donna. If
I wasn't thinking of that. I thought maybe you could give me a couple of $100, $200, $300, $400 a week. I know you're rich.
It never entered my mind either, Bill.
Ernie's Phillips 66 station at Reno is kind of like my business. It's owned by Ernie. He's his own boss, makes his own decisions, can deal with you any way he sees fit. Yeah, that's trouble. I gotta get another trip out.
That figure clever.
Ernie will, if you've got a problem, he'll help you keep on the road, where the other company could care less whether you stay on the road or not. Money's all they want. Ernie wants a customer. Patches for something like that?
I guess you'll take this home, put it on your trailer so that you can still move it around.
Sure.
That empty trailer.
Put a boot in it. Not too bad. Maybe he gets the best of you, but at least you get the satisfaction of bargaining with him.
$50. $50 there, 75 on the missing caps, on the used caps.
How much trailer like that?
Oh, Better than what you usually run.
I'll have new rubber on it. Have them funny tires with treads on it.
You wouldn't know what to do with them.
It's just a long time fueling that goddamn thing, isn't it?
How you doing, Diego? Did you get wasted last night?
Did I?
Yeah?
Oh, man. You ain't kidding.
Been out the Mustang lately?
Oh, hell no. Diego's an ex-trucker. He's been working at this station 26 years, I believe. He's 73 years old. He's there 7 days a week. He drinks quite a bit. I've seen him when he's pretty loaded, but he's just a hell of a man for 73 years old. The younger kids around there can't hold a candle to him.
Yeah, any girls in there?
Yeah.
You got any phone numbers? Huh? You do?
Yeah.
There could be a fun time as you cross Nevada because you got all the ranches, the horror ranches, you know. If I've got somebody along with me, another guy or something like that, you know, that isn't married or something, he says, come on, let's go on in there. I'll pay for it, you know. But I haven't yet. I don't think I ever would. I'm too satisfied at home.
I got a cute little gal in every eastern town, from Boston to St. Louis. There's some that I don't even know, but I'm looking forward to, 'cause I like my women everywhere I go. So roll on big wheels, don't you roll so slow. Peggy Ann is waiting in Memphis, and Betty Lou in Maine. I got a good old gal in Knoxville, but man, I forgot her name, but not her figure. I remember that. Yeah, I'm a kiss-stealing, a wheeling-dealing, a truck-driving son of a gun.
It's quite difficult to keep married for a long period of time and be a long-haul trucker. There's lots of dissatisfactions, misunderstandings. It's just sometimes living hell to keep a family together.
I met a pretty girl while down in Dallas. I thought that we would marry up. But I lost my nerve when we got to the church, and I climbed back aboard my old truck. For I got to thinking things over. Married life is not for me, I'm sure. I don't want a woman to tell me that I can't drive my truck anymore. 'Cause my grandpa drove a mule train and my Paul River boat. And just like them, I'm gonna see lots of land. My grandpa drove a mule train and my Paul River boat. I'm just like them, I'm a motivated man. I'm just like them, I'm a motivated man.
I got a nickel.
I haven't got a nickel. There's a whole lot of fun.
You got big nickels.
Their social life and their married life is generally not the best. I'd say a high percentage of them are single or recently divorced. And they just like people, and they like the cafe waitresses to smile at them. And if we had self-service food, they wouldn't like it at all because there's no one to talk to. We've had dancing in our lounge every night for the last 5 years. That's every night of the week. And truck drivers are so pent up in their trucks for 5 or 6 days coming across the continent, they like the exercise of dancing. These girls that come from various parts of North Portland here, some of them are referred to Jubit's Queen. My understanding of the Jubit's Queen is a girl that is rather large. Some of them are 200 and 300 pounds. They like to frequent the place because the truck drivers are nice to them.
I
lot of people criticize Jubit's even when they hear the name. They think, well, this is really a bad, bad place. It's really a den of iniquity, but it's not. I mean, I can come in here and enjoy myself and be myself around the people that I know. And friendships can be made. The loneliest time for me is after my children are in bed and my big house gets to me, because it gets so quiet and there's nobody to talk to. And you talk to your children all day, the ages of mine, who don't communicate back with you very intelligently. You feel like you're talking to walls. I express myself through my dancing. I can let myself go, and I don't hurt anybody that way. Sometimes I can't hardly walk the next day, but I've let all my aggressions out.
One with the long hair reminded me of a poodle dog. I don't know what she'd be like to get tangled up with.
But when I go into a place, I'm going in there for one reason and one reason only, and that's to pick up a chick. And I tell them that I'm driving a truck, I'm passing through, I'm here today, and I'm going tomorrow. And what happens in between happens in between. But I don't have time for beating around the bush. If I beat around the bush, that's all I'd ever do is beat around the bush.
I'd say your older, more mature truckers are the types that can have a beautiful relationship with their wife and still be a trucker. And then most of the problem is the young ones who say have only been married maybe just a very short time or even a long time, but yet they're young and they never did get their wild oats all sowed.
I really enjoy being around the truckers. They're easy people to work with, take care of, and wait on. They tease me unmercifully, but they just, they have to let off steam and they have to relax. I definitely believe that most of the people, especially the girls, think that a trucker is like a sailor. He has a girl in every town, and all he has to do is party and sightsee and just travel, and they think of it in a very romantic way. They just really build him up, and they don't realize that the trucker's a worker.
You have your different types of girls. You have the girls that come in here, and the only difference between them and a hooker is that they give it away. They don't charge for it. But then you have the girls that come in here just to enjoy themselves. And that is just to dance, to drink, to be with a fellow, but when it's all over with, they go home. A lot of the fellows, you'll find a lot of them losing their tempers about 2:30 when everything is over with, because they've been with this girl all night, they've bought her drinks, they've danced with her, they've talked with her, and he's got all this anticipation about going home with her. Then she goes home by herself. Then's when you find some fellows getting quite irate and a little bit unhappy. I'm no Virgin Mary when I come in here. I mean, that's for sure. I have met a couple fellows, yes, that I have really enjoyed being with. I mean, I'm still a woman, regardless of what's going on in my personal life. Most of them have not been a one-night stand. Say they've been in for a weekend or a week, and I kidnap them. I don't just take them home. I kidnap them for a week.
There are some hookers around, but usually they operate out on the lots. Like in a place like Fresno, California, there's a lot of working the truck stops. The girl is usually a quickie. They just want the money. They usually beat on the cabs when you're sleeping and wake you up and want to know if you want a date.
car or in that truck, making your way to your home, and nothing but troubles and problems and suffering and heartaches may be facing you. There is a God that sees you, sir, in that truck. Wherever you may be, God sees you.
The Lord richly bless you now and take good care of you as you hold that thing between the lines. You got the Snowbird here in a 10-wheeler bus going into Music City. We're an Evangel Temple choir singing these churches. Come on.
Yeah, Fort Wayne man. You got a Fort Wayne man here heading south.
Well, we got an accident up here. A man's beat up a little bit, and there's a couple of white rappers there with him, I think, but I don't think anybody's seriously hurt. Makes you happy that you're a child of God when you're driving these highways. Isn't that right, good buddy?
10-4, we'll agree on that.
See yours, you ever listen to Grand Ole Gospel Time, our program from the Grand Ole Opry? Come on.
Here's for you and me. We're with the King eternally. I'm waiting on Jesus to return. Hallelujah. I'm waiting on Jesus to return. Waiting on Jesus to return. I'm waiting on Jesus to return.
The skies are clear. Weather is cold, crisp. We should make good time. We ought to be in Las Vegas around sundown tonight.
He's gonna come in clouds of joy, bringing up every girl and boy. Those that believe on him will go. Will be left below. I'm waiting on Jesus to return. Hallelujah. I'm waiting on Jesus to return. Hallelujah.
Often a trucker feels himself as an outsider. Take a place like Las Vegas. People think, oh boy, there's a chance he goes there and raises hell and has a good time. The fact is, you get there at the wee hours of the morning, things have quieted down, you have a meal, you've got just a few minutes or half an hour to do it in, and you're on your way again.
Doug doesn't like Vegas at all. I think he wishes there was another way to get around it. Me, I like it. I like to ride through and see everything. When you're a truck driver, I think they want to get in and get out.
It's a funny thing when you look around at the bright lights of Las Vegas, where the money comes from. A lot of the truckers' pension funds are invested in these casinos. For example, the Dooms, Sands, Caesar's Palace, Circus are all owned or financed by Teamsters pension fund money. Many of the members are not aware of it, but here it is in gambling casinos. And it's not peanuts, it's big money, like $1.5 million, $2.3 million in one casino.
For sure, the casinos has got to be one of the best investments going nowadays.
What kind of people run both of them?
Well, that's true too. I don't care for the type of people behind the organization.
Some of them are good. And some
What
of them
you say?
The underworld characters that manage this has got full control of it, and they can rip it off, and they do rip it off. It's a known fact.
Well, who's investing in it?
Well, that's
The union? The union or the union members?
Well, union members don't even get interested. That's the problem with it. They don't pay attention to where their money's going. They're not even looking after their own welfare.
I mean, the union members don't have a voice of opinion in this?
Well,
No vote?
It's kind of like a lot of other things in life. They just let George do it. They don't go to the meetings and voice their opinions. Just people like myself were very confused, frustrated. On the other hand, I have a good friend, Bill Sheffer, who's closer to Washington and able to find out what's happening and what's really going on.
I've been an owner-operator all my life. I've been a Teamster for most of those years, not because I want to be, but because I have to be. The Teamsters Union like every other union, it was a very good thing for what it was originally intended for. But they've grown too powerful and too rich. They are controlling our destiny, and a union should be controlled by the men. I think a union is a fine thing, properly managed. It can benefit the members, it can benefit the carriers, it can benefit industry. But they've just abused it. They've gotten too big and too powerful. It's as simple as that. Well, as an alternative to the Teamsters Union, we've gotten ourselves together. We have formed the ITA, the Independent Truckers Association. We're nothing more than a group of concerned independent truckers. We want to have a say. We want to be heard, and we feel that we can be heard best if we're one loud voice instead of a lot of little small voices.
I'm going to ask Bill to explain how easy that is. Bill?
It's not easy. The Teamsters Union will do nothing for a man like Carl Weber except take his $11 a month dues.
Now on this fourth day, it's a good feeling to be going down onto the Boulder Dam. You're getting closer to home and be home with a wife. It makes you feel more like a human being again.
One of the biggest problems of the trucker in America is all the states have different regulations. And when I get to the state of Arizona, there's a ringer for you. You can't help but get that feeling when you cross that dam and that you're a stagecoach going down through the canyon and they're the outlaws. They come herding out on you, with their guns firing and everything. Pull over, we're going to rob you.
Hey, for the bigger rail, the Slidell Smoky. He's clear. KWQ 1082.
Out through there, you've got several Smokies that've got their own radios, and they like to pretend they're the other trucker and say, yeah, you've got it. Put the hammer down.
No, I'm not playing any tricks with you guys, buddy. Just trying to get somebody to talk to me. What's going on?
Cracker, how about that southbound bear? You got a copy on the turkey cat? Go ahead.
10-4, I'm just out here trying to slow him down a little bit. Y'all truck him right. No, I won't bother you.
10-4, guy, 10-4.
Well, I've always learned in the past that you don't take first advice. And this other one comes on and he says, hell, Smokey, what the hell are you telling that guy to put the hammer down for?
Pulling the red lights. I didn't think that cotton picker was going to stop. Step on out the car, driver. How about you, Big Gorilla? Is that you? 5'9", old Smokey Cat's got that boy pulled over, and he looks mad, mad, mad.
As I went by, I go, ha, 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 Smokey, you didn't get me. Yeah, I know he can hear me.
By the time they get to Phoenix, it will be nightfall. Carl will go home, and Bill down to the profile room. Doug and Donna, a long way from their home, will rest over. Tomorrow it will be El Paso or Tucson maybe, or even up to Oregon again.
Well, yes, I do look forward to his coming home, and then yet I know that everything isn't going to be peace and quiet when he gets home.
Well, when you get back and the phone calls start, the different agencies wanting to audit your books and try to make you a criminal. Banks, they seem to think that they're doing you a favor to loan you money. I don't know, shoot. I'm gonna give up, damn it. You look forward to getting back out on the road again.
Can't afford to do that either. I do worry about him out on the road because he's not getting any younger. But the future, I don't know. It doesn't look too good from where I'm sitting.
My intention is not to stay in trucking that long. By the time I'm 40, the truck better have got me what I want. And if it hasn't got what I want, I'll get out of it. Because I'm not going to waste 10 years of my life and be right where I was at when I started.
I believe that Doug's got it. If you can just hang in there long enough to get over the bad parts, long enough to get your truck paid for, then I think you're on your way. There's a good future in trucking.
When I sit down and take a good look at the future, myself, my problems as an independent trucker, and think about other types of business and how fast they're disappearing. The mom and pop restaurants, the small corner grocery stores, the garages that used to be up and down the road, and yet here we are celebrating our 200th year of independency. I think we're fast losing the ideals this country was founded upon.
Well, my plans for the future are to get rich, have a good time, fly in airplanes, sail around the world. I want a big house on the hill, too. But actually, what I think I'm going to end up doing is I want to get some more trucks with my name on the doors. Egotistical sort of thing. Yeah, but that's what I want. I want a lot of everything.